Freedom 35, 5, 5, 5.
Dude, start the podcast.
Wow.
Welcome, everybody, to another Freedom 35 or Sit Down. This is a series where we get to learn more about artists and creators in the CNFT space. My name is Tommy. I go by TOWMY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And today we're joined by the CEO of Metadams. Welcome onto the stream, Ben. How you doing?
Hi, fine. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we're excited. We haven't done one of these in a long time. It's the pre-recorded sit-downs, so it's an honor to host you on here and get to learn a little bit more. I feel like we've been slacking in our Metaverse game as far as CNFTs go in the last few months. So we're excited to learn a little bit about what you guys have been building, because it seems like there's been a lot going on since you guys have minted earlier in the year.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, the road has been quite and the journey quite crazy.
But yeah. So for you guys, I remember Metadams. I remember the Beavis. How do you guys pronounce that? We always had like a weird like
Beavis.
Beavis. We had like a New York accent.
Like we pronounce it Beavis, but like
Beavis, okay.
most of the team is French, and so no one was like, "Hey guys, it's so hard to pronounce." So like, no, yeah, Beavis is okay, etc.
Yeah,
so.
Beavis. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're over here just on live stream. Beavis. But yeah,
no one knows how to pronounce it.
I love it though. You can do it both ways and it works. So
yeah.
But yes, I remember those minting back in 2021, and then they got like a 3D like upgrade down to the prime BVs, and then after that you guys did the Metadams land sale, which to us, I think we were talking about it was back in March of this year, and one of the most unique mint styles inside the CNFT space to date, I think. And we were just saying it was more of the pick your spot on the map and then hope you get the transaction off in time and somebody doesn't claim it before you.
Like, damn, that one's gone. No, that one's gone too. No, go back.
I had the experience myself of just like seeing the map slowly disappear out of my sight because I missed the first one. But eventually we ended up getting one. Can you guys explain a little bit about why you guys wanted to do something like that and how to execute that?
Yeah. So basically, the leading blockchain engineer in Metadams, he is Pierre-André. It's a really French name, Pierre-André. And he's literally like the genius within the team. He's been programming. I actually know Pierre-André. He's one of my best friends since we're literally 3 years old. Awesome. I went to do business schools and a bit of finance, and he went full on math. And the guy is crazy about cryptography and mathematics. And also he's been programming since I think we were like 10, and he started programming because his father also was super involved in the tech industry in France, etc. And he's been so good at programming since we were a child. I mean, I remember back in the days he was hacking the school website for the grades and just putting grades that didn't make any sense and letting words everywhere and just fucking the whole system up. And he actually he literally he was caught because someone gave him away, but he actually went to the principal, like the director of the school, and say, "Okay, guys, I just showed you that you have a major flaw into your security system. If you don't punish me, I'll just patch it up and maybe teach one of your IT guys." And so he was literally 12 years old. Literally 12 years old. So why I'm saying that is because Pierre-André
that is insane.
Is an insane guy, and that's also the reason why we went to Cardano is for hash scale and for the way it's programmed. And Pierre-André is having loads of fun on Cardano, and so we actually came up with the system for the minting in March because we were like, hey, it's so weird that everyone is doing everything randomly whenever there is a mint system. If you have a map in the video game and you have some resources, etc., so you have some strategic spots, it's obvious that you would want to have some fun gamification in the minting. I mean, we thought that it was fun, and that it was also a way of just, you know, trying to improve how the minting systems are, and do something different. That was actually really the first thought into it. And it's actually through multi-sig that it has been done. So he's the one really better at all this explanation. But it through the handshake system and whatever. But the challenge was multiple, because if you do a system like that, obviously the risk of minting twice the NFT is super important, because actually people will pick the same spot, you know, and just spam. So you have a risk on this aspect. You have also obviously, like, because you could actually do bundles. I don't know if you remember, but you could actually take several spots, put it in a card, etc. So it was a huge challenge, but like he had so much fun programming it, and well, we were the first ones also to do it. So we're like, hey, I mean, it's cool, let's do it. And that's the only reason why we did it, is because we thought it was fun, and for Pierre-André it was a lot of fun to do this challenge, you know, in terms of programming.
Oh yeah. Well, I think for us, I definitely was the one spamming the chat thing for you, adding to my cart, trying to get a little greedy and missing out on a lot of different stuff.
It sounds like he likes the
Tommy,
Black Friday style.
It took you a second to kind of understand it, right? Like
yes.
At first you didn't like quite get that they were like live transactions, so you were kind of waiting around or something, weren't you?
Well, no, I clicked on it and I was like, what does it do now? And I'm like, oh, I need to add this to like an actual cart. And then I started selecting the one, and then I was like, I think I'm slow. So, you know, of course you're rushing.
And the map was disappearing. The colors were, I remember the colors were like a blackout, like on a huge city.
Oh, well, yes, absolutely. This map right here was what I was looking at. And then slowly it started to get darker and darker and darker. Everything started to disappear over here. And yeah, so it was very interesting to like see this and then slowly lose my hope of getting where I wanted to go. But it was really cool though. At the same time, it was definitely an interesting experience, and it was really cool to see like just something different being tried at that time back then.
It's, and also like we everything that we do is in house. Like we rely on everything that we're doing in house, and we could have done like a regular random minting system. We could have also chosen to go through different services, but to be honest, Pierre-André looked at several stuff that were done also, and he was like, it's not safe enough, guys, or I don't like that, or don't like that, so I prefer doing everything myself. And we saw some issues that some guy had on different mintings, etc. So, but we're super lucky to have him. Like he's a real gem in the team.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's awesome to see, like you said, this map right here is, I've also got so many questions about this, but I think we can get back into that at the beginning. So what I wanted to we jumped that question early on, but what exactly is Metadams? Because I know you guys have gone through a little bit of a rework on some stuff, or change potentially with partners and all this stuff. So yeah, what exactly is Metadams for the viewers out there who may not know?
Yeah, so actually, like you mentioned, so Metadams is a project that is more than a year long. Basically, we started out on Cardano back in end of September. I mean, we started working in August, but I think our first mint for the Pixie Little Beavers were on beginning of October of 2021. We started a small community. We launched like 1,000 units of pixelized BVs that were quite cool, quite fun. It was a sold out. We were super happy with it. We had a small amount of money to trade something out of it, and build something maybe cooler, etc. That's how we actually hired and involved another 3D designer, that is Martin Chatelier, who worked on the second collection on the 3D characters. Martin is a super talented guy that actually is the lead designer for a car company, hyper car company, that is called Vision Automobile, which is basically a hypercar for Le Mans, and he does all the 3D design, etc. So super talented guy. So we were like, okay, let's professionalize a bit, like the community, everything that we're doing. So let's hire better people, etc. with the money that we have. And okay, so we done the 3D designs of the BVs, and we were like, okay, this is super cool. It was also another sold out, so we're super happy with it. Like, okay, so super fun. We have again, we have some means to deploy and go further in our mind. And that's how we started. We already had the idea of a game, obviously, because I mean, myself, Pierre-André, and Adrien we are we played a lot of video games actually, like from any kinds of we spend nights and nights and nights playing video games. So we're like, hey, this is so fun. We can create our universe and co-create it with the community. So why not go super, full throttle on the universe and go crazy? So we started thinking of, okay, how to build a game, how to do everything. We really liked the dimension of, so we are like a metaverse like, but we don't like being called that way, in the sense like we like some dimensions of what a metaverse is expected to be, like for instance the user generated content, the social dimensions, the events, the immersive experiences. We love that aspect. We feel that it was more brought to the light with the buzzword of what a metaverse is supposed to be. So we really liked it. And we're like, hey, we should mix that up with a cool gameplay, etc. So that's why we launched Metadams and the land sale, because we wanted both a universe where you had, like I mentioned, the social experiences, the social aspect, the immersive experiences, the user generated content, but also like a fun gameplay and with regular dynamics that you might know from other games. And I'll come back to it after. So we launched a land sale that was successful in a way. So again, super happy. We had enough money to hire more people, etc. So we started developing the game. We had already developed it, but I mean, we needed more means to continue developing it. And what happened is that was back in March. We had already started working, I think it was back in December, on the game. And so we hired a bunch of people that advised us to hire other people. And the issue is that the team we hired, they oversold us their skills, literally, like the devs. They literally oversold what they could do, what they were able to do, etc. And so back in April, we had our first events. And we were quite disappointed in the way it looked. The features were okay, like you could share your screen, you could chat through audio, through text, etc. But like the scalability was shit. A lot of things were laggy. It was supposed to be on Unity, so normally Unity, why you would go on Unity is that you can run it on almost every computer. That was something that was super important for us, and it wasn't the case. So we were, to be honest, it was a super low time for us. Myself, I was literally like almost, maybe I was completely in a depression. Like really, I was so disappointed, because it's not only like you being like disappointed in yourself, but it's like you have also the weight of all the community that you feel that trusted you for the management of the company, etc. And you did it the wrong way, or you hired the wrong people. But that's actually a super common entrepreneurial mistake. But when you do it, like it's horrible in a sense. But at the time, so we were also super involved. We started being super involved in the Web3 ecosystem in France also. We got closer to the guys from Sandbox, Sébastien Borget, the guys from Ledger. I was actually at the Ledger Open 2 days ago. It was super fun. Sébastien Badeau from Ledger, Dogami with Bilal. I mean, a lot of great French projects that are either unicorns or, super big companies. And we started actually doing a think tank with those guys. And in this think tank, there was like 80 companies. We tried to get involved as much as possible in it. And in the think tank, there is tons of companies. So either metaverse-born companies, like I mentioned, can add up to that. I don't know, Kinetics, Stage 11. I mean, great companies that are involved in the Web3 ecosystem, but also like other big industries that want to get an interest in the Web3 ecosystem. And that's how we met with TapNation, which is a leading gaming studio in France. And it's like the main competitor also of Voodoo Gaming, which are hyper and casual gaming games. You see some figures here, like 750 million downloads, 40 million monthly users. So it's quite crazy. And this is a huge company. And we talked to the founder of it that was like, hey, we're super intrigued in the Web3, but we don't know where to start. And we started talking without even thinking of any partnership or any, not having them in the equity, because that's why they are now. They are shareholders of the company, and they have stake in the company. And we actually did the perfect marriage where we're like, hey, we need to change our team so bad and we're running out of funds. And they were like, hey, we need to get involved into the Web3 but the right way, with people that know what they're doing also, because they were talking with guys that are either that look like rug pulls, either that look like guys that weren't, not professional enough, etc. So that's how we actually, that was back in June, we actually met, signed everything, or some things actually, and started rebuilding completely the game with another vision that was on the gaming industry and not just only of the Web3 industry. That's a super important part to it, is that the first work that we have done is to be like, okay, what game are you building? Like, why is it fun? Where is the fun in what you're doing? And we were like, hey, there is the play to stake, there is it's on Cardano, etc. And they're like, hey, how is it fun? Like, how do I want to come daily back to it, etc. So that was the whole process of redoing it started back in June. And the legal aspect, legal papers took so long that it lasted up until September. And then in September, we were able to say, hey, okay, we have signed this new agreement, shoulder agreement with them. So now we have an amazing product that is coming up. We couldn't tell it before, but now we can. And
Right.
yeah.
That's awesome.
That's just
so
great. You guys persevered through that, that situation of being, it's like you said, you're disappointed and a little depressed about how the original outcome, came out. So you guys just, kept your heads down, kept working, and you found the right people to partner up with. And it seems like you guys have a great partnership now, which you guys have planned out. So I'm excited to see a little bit more of the gameplay and what you guys have to offer, because I know you guys have mobile later on, which I know we'll talk about in a little bit. But, I'm glad you guys were able to get past that tough time.
Yeah, thank you. It was quite hard, but we learned a lot as well, like on a super personal side, like super stressed, depressed in every ways. And when it went better, now whenever something shitty happened to us or whatever, we were such in a weak position at this time that now whenever we have troubles or whatever, we are super, we have a lot of distance to it, and like we literally grew with this
Sure.
Yeah.
with this failure.
Yeah.
Growing pains of business, that's for sure.
Yeah, but that's the big thing, man, is you
Right.
can you can go through the trials, man. If you guys are battle tested, you guys made it out on the other side, and you look at it now, you guys are in a way better spot. So, I mean, yeah, visually too. I mean, some of the stuff that we're looking at on the website and all, just the visual look of the Beavis, I call them Beavis, the BBs, from what they look like now compared to what it was back in that time frame. It definitely can tell the upgrade is significant for what you guys have done in that short amount of time. So I know later we'll get a chance to have some gameplay running throughout the video down the line, especially some stuff that you guys are excited to share. But kind of have to ask, so from the vision, now that you guys have got a great partner on board, somebody who's definitely got the experience to go ahead and bring you guys to that next level, where does that kind of take the project now? Where I know we have something that's coming up here at the beginning of the year in 2023 in January. Can you kind of go into where are you guys going next?
Yeah. So the idea is the following. So the Metadams vision is to, like on the white paper, like it was written, is really onboarding Web2 people. And basically, so being a game before anything, being a game before being a Web3 game, before using Cardano in any senses, etc. So the vision is the following: it's like we're releasing a lot of stuff for the community, especially for the Web3 community, like showing how we've been improving, etc. Because this is our core community. What we're preparing is, we call it phase one. Phase one is like acquisition, onboarding more people from the Web3 community, showing what a great game we're building, etc. Then on the end of the end of January, 2023, we will open the game, only the circle zone, what we call the circle here, which means that what you will have available are, for instance, the vehicles, air vehicles, water vehicles, terrestrial vehicles. You will be able to attend events. You will be able to explore also the city, because we have tons of Easter eggs from the community, buildings from the communities, activities to do, quests also. You can also, so you have a lot of NPCs that basically give you quests to do. Once you have done the quests, you earn some resources, you earn some MTDX, which is the in-game token, and you will be able to spend it to do a lot of stuff, a lot of mini games, because TapNation's expertise is also in the mini games aspect.
Right.
So we have we have basically those buildings, which are waiting rooms. You enter the building, it's a waiting room. And if you have like 30 seconds and as many people join, you can basically launch a mini game. We have
what kind of mini games you guys plan to have?
So we have already 3 are live now. That's what I know. I don't know if they want to go up until 5 mini games for the end of January. The 3 we we have right now are the tile game from Fall Guys. You know, where you have
Okay.
like
Yep.
you know where you fall floor from floor.
Yes,
Right.
yes. The heck,
So you-
yeah, at the
and
end,
survive.
Yep.
Exactly,
Yep,
it's a
yeah.
survival. Then you have a race, exactly like Fall From Guys, the same races, like you have a lot of obstacles, etc.
Oh, you have to hop over and get around. I got you. Okay, cool.
Exactly. And then you have another one. So those are the three ones I've already tried. And also, I don't remember the name because I didn't know it. Takashi's Castle. I
Okay.
don't know if that tells you something. You know, it's a castle with a lot of doors everywhere, and you have to. It's a maze basically, and you have to. It's timed, and you have to get out basically. And so you have you have the choice of multiple doors, and it's a maze. So you just have to get out. So
We
those
call
are the
that,
three I've already.
most extreme elimination challenge over here, TJ and Tommy. You guys
Oh,
remember that
MXC?
show?
Yeah.
That's
Which
what
one is it? I don't. That one I'm not familiar with. What is it?
most extreme elimination challenge. That's what it was called in the States. That was like the
Yeah.
version they released over here, but that's what Takeshi's Castle was. That's like the
Okay.
original version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what they would know it by.
Yeah, MX. I
over
remember
here.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
for
that,
sure.
I mean, those were always fun to watch. So I can imagine playing it would be a different aspect here too. I see on the screen over here, you got a game of soccer or football.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're at in the world.
I haven't tried it. Tried this one yet. Because like basically like how the work is separated is like we are doing a lot of the work regarding the blockchain, etc. And they update us like weekly. They push new builds, push new stuff, and like we weekly we look at the progress, etc. Because like there is 10 people working on the projects on the video game, and there is a project manager which is Remy that basically do everything related to just the game, and then he just calls us and says like, okay, here we are here, we're on this timing, we're here regarding the blockchain, where are you guys, etc. So that's how it works. So there are a few stuff that I haven't tried yet. Pierre-André and Adrien maybe have, but I haven't tried the soccer one yet.
So the circle then essentially is like the hub, the social hub of the world of your game. So where everybody kind of goes. It reminds me of all video games, whether it's an MMO or whatever it is, but the kind of central location where you can run into other players and then queue up to play games and events and buy. It's a little area, which is fun.
Exactly. That's where everything is happening, because like the first pain in a sense that we noticed was when we started thinking the game. We were like, okay guys, we cannot be like Decentraland or in some aspects Sandbox, where you feel so alone all of the time, and you feel that, I mean, you don't know where to go, you don't know where to start. It's so huge, so vast. So we were like, okay, you know what? Everything related to your lands, etc. It's a whole different aspect. Like it's something else, and you can go land to lands. I'll go after that. It's what we call Terraforma. You can go land to lands, etc. But like if you want to share some stuff, you can do it on your lands. But mainly like the parties, everything, the immersive content, everything is in a condensed city. And when you jump onto the city, like we want to see literally. That's why we have made so many vehicles and stuff like that. But I'll come back to the gameplay. We want to see so many people, just like with their jetpacks, with their everything, just doing all kinds of crazy shit, and like people joining in will be like, okay, whoa, so much is happening. Like, what is going on?
It reminds me of like
alive almost.
It reminds me of like Iron Forge or Stormwind in World of Warcraft, right? You ride around those cities and there's those main hub areas where people have their different mounts and the vendors, and you get to chat with the people around you, which is, like you said, a place for more people to kind of meet up and talk and figure out what's going on.
Exactly. That's why I always mention, like in France we have a game that is that was super popular, that was called Dofus, and it's like the equivalent in some ways. It's not the same gameplay. If a French guy hears me, he's going to kill me, but in some ways it looks like WoW in a sense. And like there was this place where people were literally just stayed all day long chatting in the hub, like you mentioned in World of Warcraft. Basically, like they were staying here chatting, just doing a lot of emotes, just chilling and just chatting randomly. And like it was so cool. Like I've had so much pleasure playing whatever, like Call of Duty, playing League of Legends, playing Minecraft, spend a lot of time. Dofus, World of Warcraft I've never played, CSGO, and just chatting and just doing random shit. So we really wanted to give people the tools to do random shits and have what we call the social interactions.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the chatting system on the screen as well. So you've got a general chat, a friends chat, and an audio chat. So if people want to connect with each other, they can go ahead and either talk to each other. I'm sure they'll have like I said, a text chat inside the main area.
Yeah.
So it'll keep it alive,
Yep.
which is the main thing, right? You don't want to feel alone, what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, like we really copied in a lot of ways everything that we thought was cool in each of the games we had been building, and that's also part of the journey that is so cool, is the creative process of, hey, it reminds me of that game we used to play. Yeah, we should put that and mix that with this, etc. Like I'm not afraid to say that we copied so much games, because like the objective was to do something fun, and
Of
obviously
course.
like the creative process also comes from copying the best to ever do it. So
Yeah, I think it's innovating, right? You innovate the stuff that was, don't fix something that's not broken. If you guys like it and you can implement it into new stuff, that's really what a lot of stuff, big games do at this point, and they just innovate and improve. So good to see that you guys are taking roots from stuff that you guys have played in the past and are bringing it here now into Web3. The next part of this that we talked about was, you can pronounce it over the Terraforma, which is kind of like the outside portion of the game, outside that main circle where I guess people are going to be able to learn land. And I see that you can upgrade and eventually earn ADA as well as the MTD token. What is this place about?
So back in the day, I don't know if you remember, but we had created a system that is called Play to Stake. And Play to Stake is actually running a pool and redistributing the rewards of a pool according to your performances in game. That's just the general idea, is to say, okay, let's say for instance, TJ and I are playing. TJ is way better than me, so he will be at 7% yield over a year, and I will be at 2% yield over a year. But this changes day by day according to the performances. But let's say that you're the first on the leaderboard for the 365 days of the year, you will have that 7% yield of the pool, and I will have like 2, 3, or not doing the math right now, but but like I will have less than 5%, obviously, to compensate on you having more. So that's a system that it's a zero-sum system, an earning system based on redistribution. So that is a healthy system. But the issue with this system in the sense is that the game needs to be super fun, so that you are okay to delegate to this pool rather than another one, to be like, okay, it's part of the game, it's fun, I'm not losing money, I'm losing, it's a cost of opportunity, because if I'm bad at the game. So there is, in this sense, this aspect to have taken into account. But then it's a super healthy system where at the end of the day, yes, you earn ADA, like and that doesn't change like whatever happens into the game, because it's a zero-sum game with the pool running. It's a healthy thing.
So on the end goal, that's the ADA portion of that. So if I'm hearing that right, are we staking to the Metadams pool, and then depending on where you sit on the leaderboard throughout a season or whatever it may be, you're getting a percentage. Is it back in ADA or is it back in the MTD?
No, it's back in ADA. It's back in ADA. So yeah, I'll just explain like both gameplays. So I'll just do like the player journey. So I enter Metadams, I enter the circle city, etc. I do a bunch of interactions, etc. Each interaction I do, whatever I mentioned before, you gain XP. Okay, you get an XP, and that XP makes you earn also levels. And those levels and XP, once you reach level 2, actually, it's not definitive, but once you reach level 2, so once you have also done the first tutorial aspects, you will have the possibility to do what we call syncing, which is changing the metadatas of your NFT and putting your levels inside your metadatas. That's the creation of Pierre-André again. and basically, it's the idea to say like each BV will have his levels, XP, etc. So that's the gameplay in the sense of the circle. That's the main gameplay, is do a bunch of interactions whenever you chat, whenever you complete. I think like in BV's gameplay on RPG, on the left column, you have examples of whatever can give you XP. And so that's the BV's gameplay. That's on RPG, and that's the BV's gameplay. That's basically like what you do in the circle. Then you have the Terraforma, which is the rest of the map, which is your personal land, which is where you want to basically upgrade, collect resources, earn ADA through the play to stake, which we haven't disclosed yet the definitive gameplay, because we rearranged it. It will be a section within your land, like a little house. You enter within the land, a little house, and you have a dashboard, and that's how you do the play to stake. Then you have the other section, which is the main gameplay of the land, and the main gameplay is a farming gameplay. So basically, I have my land, there is nothing on it. Once I have leveled up in the circle area, I get to earn a bunch of resources. So whether it's wood, water, sand, or uranium, with those resources, I will be able to buy collectors. Those collectors will be placed onto my virgin land, and then I will start collecting resources. There is a collector per resource. So if I have a sand collector, I'll collect sand. If I have a water collector, I'll collect water, etc., etc.
Okay.
The idea of the gameplay is that if you want to earn resources to spend it in game, to do a bunch of interactions, whether it's on your land or whether it's in the circle, you have to get it somehow. And to get it is through the farming system on your land. So it's exactly like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, if you have ever played those games.
Absolutely.
So you have those collectors, you get resources out of those collectors, and then you can upgrade your collectors for either changing the performances. And then if you have enough resources, you will be able to upgrade your land, because your land will make you eligible for a small amount of MTD that you can claim within some period of times. You earn passively MTD, but you have to do daily interactions to withdraw it, basically. It's
I had a quick question about the RPG leveling system. I know you guys have 5,000 BVs. So is that going to be the player cap? Because I know there's a free version you can play with in Metadams. Now, is the free version going to be able to collect anything at all, or just going to be able to run around and kind of do a couple free stuff? Basically?
So that's a good question. So when you have the free version will let you basically do a bunch of interactions, limited, obviously. You will be able to maybe XP and earn 1 level or 2, but you will be capped. Just to we just want to get a sense to the players, like, hey, this is what you could do if you had a BV, but obviously just to get a sense. Also, like, it's important that we have this free character for a lot of stuff, for regulatory reasons, but also because we want to onboard people from the Web2 space. So you will be able to do a bunch of events, immersive stuff, etc. That's why also, like I mentioned, we're part of this think tank, Meta Circle. We have like 80 companies that want to create content, that want to host conferences, etc. We will be hosting some of them inside our game. And so, for instance, for those guys, let's say I'm the C-level of Alliance that is part of or a Next City, or I don't know, from a McKinsey. I'm a partner at McKinsey. I just have to send you a link and you can enter without having a wallet, without having anything. So the free version will let you go to those events and have fun. But obviously, if you want to get into the gameplay, if you want to start earning XP levels, because we copied the season passes system of Fortnite. So the more levels you pass on, you have different NFTs that are available to unlock, etc.
So is there going to be another season of BVs? Because I know there's, like you said, there's only 5,000. So you're keeping
So for the BVs, not like we for now we're really sticking to 5,000, because if we do another release of BVs,
of course, it
will only be if there is like 10,000 people that want to enter the game, and like the supply and the floor price is insanely high, So because it doesn't make sense if our goal is to onboard Web3 users, if it costs like $10,000 to enter, obviously it won't. So that's the only way possible for us. It's the same for also the for the lands, etc. Like at the end of the day, if we don't have the users, if there is not the hype expected, if there is not the traffic that we expected, there is no reason for us to mint more items. I mean, it will only hurt our community more than anything.
Well, it's a good way too to keep it capped like that, because it helps stress test the servers to make sure everything's running smoothly.
Yeah, exactly.
Interactions are going well. So as as it gets more and more proficient, you can expand on that, of course. That's
super true as well. It's a good way of us to assess, and we have already done it, to be honest, to assess like, okay, what's the maximum players at once that we can have? We have that amount of wallets, etc., etc., etc. So indeed, you're completely right on this aspect.
So to dial it back to these levels that you earn, if you don't own an NFT of the BVs, you are pretty much capped. You can get in the game, you can play, you can experience some things, see some events. But if you want to level up even higher, which we've just talked, we're looking at kind of here like a leveling system, sort of similar to Fortnite. You're getting different abilities, different emotes, different things like that eventually only the NFT holders are able to level up to those levels get.
Yeah, exactly. But what we are doing for the Web2 onboarding people is that you can pay. We are actually working with Winter. You see, JPEG now has the ability to sell on their platform through Winter. We have contacted those guys, super cool guys, to be honest. Good interaction with them, and we will be able to do the same thing, pay through our secondary marketplace that we're building inside our website with a card. And basically what we'll be doing is that, let's say I'm a Web2 guy, I jump onto the game, I'm say, hey, there is a pop-up saying, hey, you want to get into the game? You could buy a BV if you would, if you want, etc. Here is how, etc. So we accompany the player. And then after that, he basically, with Winter, he doesn't even understand that he has a wallet, a BV, whatever. It's just stuck with him. So it's super easy to onboard someone. It's really like if he pays a season pass, literally. And and then why is it important is because then let's say it goes up to level 15, we'll be like, hey, actually, like the time you have spent leveling up, etc., it's worth something for other people because you have access to, and unlocked a lot of stuff. You can withdraw NFTs, you could withdraw emotes, etc. So that's the whole challenge for us after the release of the game. If we have some traction, is really to onboard as many people as possible from the Web2 ecosystem, but really show them why it's useful, show them why like it's cool, show them why it makes sense to do it. And so we have to be super gentle in this sense.
I just love that approach that projects are starting to do now too. Is they're doing the game in a sense first approach. They're not pushing the NFT. They're like, hey, just play the game, try it out, and if you like it, here's our quote unquote season pass, the NFT. And then we'll walk you through on how to obtain that. So I think that's such a great approach that you guys are doing for this.
But game. I think like it's now. I think like the also like the within the last 2 years, a lot of things have changed, and now really regarding like the supposed play to earn, which is the worst wording possible, because it literally says like I'm obliged to play, but I just want to earn. Like so now it's just about like okay, you're doing a game. I mean, if it's not fun at the end of the day, like it's over the time where it was just, oh my god, they're just launching a play to earn game, it's going to be so sick, etc. Like no, I mean, nobody give a fuck, and it's normal. So on our side, like really in our mind, we are building a video game. Like that's how we market it. That's how we're going to basically see eventually if it works, the investors, etc. Like we're building a fun game with retention, with the users daily. And then why we are using Cardano, why we are using NFTs, etc., is as a way of leveraging the blockchain, because it's fun for the gamers, and we can show it to them rather than just shove it into their faces, because like I was talking actually with the people from Ubisoft in France here, and they had tried, to implement NFTs. I don't remember the name of the game they tried to implement it on. It was a first-person shooter game, I think. I don't know if you remember, guys. But
like a Tom Clancy game. I know they do that one.
No, it wasn't Tom Clancy. It was another.
Ubisoft.
All I can think of is Assassin's Creed. So
yeah, I got Tom Clancy Assassin's Creed. That's all I got in my head.
It was a game I didn't know to be. It's called Quartz. It's called Quartz, and basically like it was a huge
failure.
And like their own employee had a Slack, with private chats with all the complaints of saying like, why have you done this, it's a scam, it's a rug, whatever, etc., because they were too fast, they went too fast, they didn't they shoved it into their faces, in a sense. That's how the guy I had the interactions with were like, it was a buzzword that was jumping onto our gaming ecosystem. We're like, hey, we don't need that. But actually at the same time, when you watch at CSGO, Counter-Strike, etc., like if you watch, like I think it was 2 weeks ago that a skin I think it was for a knife.
Oh, it sold ridiculous. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, those guys, they have shown the value of assets in game and the secondary market it offers, but obviously it's super centralized as of today.
Well, that's the power. Like I said, most people don't realize that, or to the general gamer who doesn't understand anything about crypto or just doesn't want to hear about NFTs. That gives it a perfect real world example of like a famous like esports player who was killing, doing amazing in these tournaments and using a certain gun or a certain skin or just has like certain stats, and then one day says, because of my accomplishments, I'm ready to move on from this. I'm going to give this to somebody who wants it, and then the fact that he can transfer that and the people, it holds a crazy value because of that, is a really cool way that this NFT world can mix with the gaming portion of this. So I think we're just starting to explore it. But I see here from you guys as well, instead of play to earn, it'll be play to stake.
So play to stake is just a small feature, to be honest. Like, it's an extra in this sense. Like,
yeah. Okay.
It's just we're trying to build a healthy ecosystem, earning ecosystem. So it's part of it, but like you see, it's really like a bonus.
It's not the main focus. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So then eventually down the line here, you guys have also, obviously, people love playing games on the computer. It's easy, but mobile is a huge market. And like I said, you guys have partnered with TapNation, who has ridiculous amount of sales and experience inside of this. Do you guys plan to launch the mobile games and simultaneously with the web app, or is this something that'll be down the line?
It will come end of Q1 2023 or early Q2 2023. But actually, like the mobile is going to be extremely important to onboard people, because obviously, what better mean than that?
I think mobile games in general is way more international even than PC is, because most people have a phone across the world versus having the PC. So if you're able to capitalize and get that going, that'll be fantastic for everybody.
Well, and like a place like France, where people travel by train much more often than they do here in the States, where there's much more time to kind of do that. Here we're always in our cars, so we don't get to experience some of that downtime where you get to play. But internationally, for sure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is. Mobile is super important, and what we're really looking for too is having a game that allows you to be in the subway and playing, like, just for 10 minutes, doing your daily tasks, fun daily tasks, etc. Exactly like Clash of Clans, really, like, in this sense, like casual game that is fun, addictive, that you want work on, have fun daily. Basically, that's really what we're aiming at.
Well, you know about that. You had your clan phase, didn't you?
Me, I played the shit out of that. I played the shit out of that for a year. I worked in the bank. I played the shit out of Clash Clans.
I was gonna say too, for one thing, at least in the Cardano side, and maybe just in general, the mobile market is something that's so untapped right now, and there's not really too many valuable products that are out there, just viable products that are quality out there. So if you guys are first to market, is a huge thing too, where it's just like, oh, okay, this game actually works and it's fun to play. That's going to be a big mover for just any space for NFTs.
Yeah, and also, like, on the technical aspects, I think it was within the last few months that I remember. So Pierre-André is coming up to me and say, there is no issue on doing a mobile version. I mean, with the wallets, etc. Like, it's doable now, etc. And so, I remember back a year ago, he wasn't saying that. He was saying that it would have been way too complicated to do it now. So also, it's. It's exactly the Cardano vibe is exactly that. Like, it's just with time, but slowly but surely, and that's maybe the most important thing. It's surely,
Yeah.
Like, there are the tools that are here to help us, build on it. To be honest,
we do say that we're early though. Like, all this stuff, just be patient. We're in a lot of projects early on. Now they need the time. It's not going to take. The ones that we like for the reasons that we like is not something you do in 2 months or 4 months or 6 months. It's something that takes some time.
So
that's what we like.
But at the end of the day, you need to release something at some point also.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Or, just the communication and the updates and being open and honest is just something that is really refreshing to see. There's a couple of projects we stay involved with, all kind of have that quality. It's something that's needed.
But it's it's on the gaming industry side, etc. Depending on the tools that you're using. For instance, we're on Unity, whereas other would be on Unreal Engine, etc. Normally, you get now. I mean, on our side, we have a vision, of how long a game takes if you really have the team you say you have. So sometimes it's weird to see how long it takes for some guys. To be honest,
I feel like a lot of people getting into this NFT scene too, especially when they say, "Oh, we're going to make a game," without really understanding what that even means. Because obviously we see AAA games that take, have life cycles of sometimes 5 to 10 years before a game will actually come out. And it goes through many different iterations as the technology improves and they have to adapt along the way. So same thing here, right? We're building this foundation. Cardano has changed so much within the last 3 years, from where it was to currently where we're at today. So, I mean, I can imagine if you're building a game that you want to be quality, that is fun to play, you guys have to be able to adapt and to be able to pivot, but at the same time stay relevant in this industry because it is very tough. So that's a hard factor and the many things to come against. So how for you guys, like you said, you've gone through rough patches, but you guys have gotten better at the same time for where you're at now. Do you guys feel you're in a good position moving in with this new partnership to continue to build and have a great 2023 for what you guys are looking to do?
Yeah. To be honest, like right now, basically, we never had so much workforce, deployed on like the game as if it is today. On the finance side, we're also super at ease. I mean, I don't know if it's the right word in English, but like we're super confident, like we on the runway, etc. 2023 is super excited for us because we have no limit to the features, the gameplay we want to implement and everything. Like it's going to be done, whatever happens. So it's just about to see like will the people like it, like, and it's also the fun and stressing aspect to it. Like right now, I'm less than stressed. It's what I say also to the associates. I'm like, guys, like we're doing everything we can. Like we are going full cards on the table, and we have everything to be launched. We believe that it's a super fun game. If it is normally, I mean, people will share the same idea. If it's not, I mean, then we will have delivered something that we found super cool, but maybe that wasn't market fit. But like, it's super good for the mind to know, like, I mean, everything that we have planned to do, we will basically.
Yeah.
So that's super.
I did have a quick question going back to like the player generated experiences with the content creation side. I know you guys said like having creators create the content and possibly even monetize that. How do you guys want to approach that in a sense? Is it going to be a Twitch style like content creation where you see someone playing in Metadams, or how are you guys going to go about that?
So that's for instance, that's one of the features like Metaverse, like in the sense that we really like in this new gen of games. The first way to do that, it's really a vision and like a roadmap in this sense on how we want to go there. But now, like the real first application that we have is that you can enter a building, token gated, and you can share your screen and host a conference, host a podcast, whatever we are doing right now. Actually, we could do it inside the game in a fun, immersive way. Okay. That's really the first way of doing it. So you have a platform to create content for YouTubers, streamers. That is really something we were looking for, like on the really, really, really short term, because like the tools are ready in this sense. Then the next step is really like assets that you would want to build to put onto your beavers and obviously monetize. That's the next step, how to make compatible assets for give the right, basically the right framework for players, so that we can say to them like, hey, if you have a cool item, just place it in game and then monetize it. That's the power also of Unity, is that it's super flexible. We are working with different partnerships, different actors, etc. Like Yumi had sent us, for instance, their character, trying to implement it. It's actually quite easy. Same with Chill Kongs. We are doing they sent us their 3D voxel, little Chill Kong. We're trying to see how we can integrate it, rather than for an NPC, a statue, or a character that you can play during an event. Right. So what I'm saying by that, why I'm saying that, is that it's easy to implement stuff if you have the right framework and the right, if you give the right format to the people that are building. Right. So that's the second step. It's really like monetizing your assets and whatever you want to build and put inside the game. First step being live streaming, creating content for YouTubers. But the monetizing will really come with the second step, to be honest. Right. But it's something that we really love in other Web3 games. Obviously, that's the game-changing aspect to it also. But this is really the vision that we have for it. Obviously, it's getting the circle bigger with the content generated by the user.
Well, like you said too, you could have exclusive people inside your game who play this all the time, whether YouTubers, Twitch streamers, whoever they are, and you can say, hey, we're streaming exclusively out of Metadams today, and you could use that to go ahead and bring your platform together. That's a unique aspect in that sense.
And also like another's really bad. It's the same it's what other metaverses are doing. Metaverses are doing. Is really like also like we have a concert zone, etc. We haven't revealed it yet, but it's super cool. And like there is holograms, over the city, etc. So if you can just, change your hologram and change it for the way you want it to be with your asset, etc. I mean, it's super stupid in a sense because it's so simple, detailed, but it feels so unique when you are part of a game and changing the city at your will for the others to see because you have your dedicated space, etc. I mean, that's the vision we have basically on, okay, how do we want the users to be a part and create stuff and change and modelize the city as they want as well. And monetizing it obviously is the last step with the assets I mentioned.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an open and unique opportunity for Web3 content creators in general, just to be able to monetize content inside of actual companies, essentially, and games, which is going to be a really cool thing. And I think that may pull a lot of the gamers into different spaces, especially those who stream. So yeah, that'd be awesome. We'd host a Metadams podcast inside of there one day.
Yeah. Next time
sure.
that's where we will host it, guys.
There you go. We're looking forward to the gameplay. I know you guys were talking about in January 23, we should see some more stuff down the line. So we're excited to hear and get that update from you guys. It's good to hear that you guys have gone through some stuff and are coming out on top right now and are excited as ever to go ahead and launch that. So
thank you.
And then I just wanted to mention, I know you said that you're on Unity, but you also mentioned Unreal Engine. I know that's kind of the one that's like the big fancy flashy one or whatever. But for Unity, as far as like, especially our team here, the three of us, with me and TJ partially, we see Unity from some of our same like favorite stuff. Like for me and TJ, we both play Escape from Tarkov. That's all built on Unity. And they've done things that like the guys at Unity didn't even know they could do with their engine, where they get them integrated. And then another friend of the show, Cardano Poppy, who he's had on a couple of times, did the Future Fest stuff and did the stuff with Yummy. They're building on Unity same way, and they're doing things that we don't see at all. So it's kind of exciting. You're in a good group there.
It's different tools for different also industry within the gaming industry. Really, it's like you want to do a AAA, okay, so you should use Unreal and really like the 5.1. Is it 3.1 or 5.1 that Fortnite just implemented? That is quite crazy looking. Whatever, like just like different tools for different verticals of the industry. Our game is a casual gaming. So what it means is that it's casual. It's we're not aiming to be a hyper realistic game, etc. Exactly in the sense like with the games you mentioned, it's just different industries for different tools, and on where you want to positioning it's yourself, it depends. And yeah, and what we love about the casual gaming and the Unity is that it's so flexible, as I mentioned. Like you can change, you can pivot, you can be like, okay, you know what, we'll implement that and that. A lot of workforce is available. Some really talented guys on the team. We have amazing guys. The designers also. I mean, when you have a good designers like good designers like we have on our team, like we didn't show it yet, like, but the emotes, they're super cool, like, and they really look like Fortnite, and we're like, okay guys, like the movements are so smooth, etc. I didn't expect Unity to be that good. And the guys, the leading manager from TapNation, he just told me like, when you have a great team and people with those skills, like you can really do magic with the Unity. So
that's great. One last question for me. Any plans for not anytime soon, maybe the future, for like maybe far future, any plans to walk around as the BVs, like as the VR headset style?
Yeah, so that's actually I was quite surprised. It's not that complicated to integrate the VR. Weirdly, I thought that it would be such a huge step, etc. But it's definitely in the plans. Awesome. And like but like from what I understood, because it's not something that we're working on like right now as a priority, but like I mentioned it a few times, and from the feedbacks I had, imagine like the game is a huge success at the release, etc. Like, I mean, within the next year, if we have the workforce, etc., it's quite easy to implement. That's actually awesome. VR. I was quite surprised. I thought that it would be like,
yeah, that'd be tough, I can imagine, but
no, but it's not actually.
That's awesome.
I don't know why.
To hear that.
I don't know how it's made, etc. But it's not that complicated. Weirdly,
because I think it definitely would elevate the circle even more. Like you give that almost that virtual reality feel to it of walking around in the space. That'd be great.
Yeah, start small, then you upgrade.
Oh, of course,
I said,
right? Down the line. Not
first it needs to be fun.
Of
course,
fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hear you.
When do I get to control an actual beaver with a remote control? When are you guys going to get to that stage?
Yeah, right.
TJ.
That's going to be one of the mini games. You'll do that VR inside of a mini game right there. But no, Ben, we appreciate you jumping on with us today. I know taking up a Saturday to sit down with you and really learn about what you guys have done. It's really cool to hear the backstory from Metadams and the team and how you guys kind of persevered going into this next stage. It's cool to see you guys back into the spotlight a little bit. I've seen you guys posted some stuff more on Twitter. And we're excited for next month, man. I know Metaverse has always kind of got that stigma nowadays. Like I said, it was a way different time this year than it was at the end of last year because everybody was all hyped for it. So it's really cool to see that you guys have something that people are going to be able to do and really get a chance to play and have something fun potentially on Cardano.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate the time taken today. Thank you, guys.
Oh, absolutely, man. We'll definitely have to have you back. We're big gamers on this channel over here.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we get to actual gameplay, like I said, you'll see us on the channel. We like to do some live streams. Ben, real quick though, for everybody who has not got a chance to learn or wants to learn more about you and Metadams, what's the best way to get in contact with you guys and check out the team?
So Twitter and Discord really are the best. On Twitter, we really only make like the biggest announcements I would say. On Discord, it's really super informal. We have a great core community, talking every day all the time, and like we are super active. So just hit us up. Even on Twitter, like I'm checking all the time the DMs and whatever. And so Discord and Twitter, just don't hesitate to ask whatever questions. We'll love to.
Metadams on Twitter.
It's Metadams game on Twitter.
Perfect. And they can probably find the Discord through the Twitter. Right?
Yeah, and through the Twitter, you have the link to the Discord.
If you guys are confused about that, you guys can click that link down in the description. It'll be there for you guys on the video. So easy enough. But I know, Ben, appreciate it today. Looking forward to Metadams and having you guys back onto the channel here once everything gets up and running. So again, guys, this has been a Freedom 35er sit down. We will catch you guys on the next one.